Welcome back to Toyota Park. After about a month away, a great match ahead versus Sky Blue FC, presented by the Illinois Women's Soccer League. I'm Lisa Byington, happy to have you tune in alongside Jackie Santa Catarina, now Jackie Manning. And of course, you can always tune in to our Spanish webcast and tune in and listen to Tico Fernandez. The Chicago Red Stars sitting with 13 points in first place, but let's take a look back since their last home match on May 7th against Boston, Jackie.
Here they are against Boston with Jen Hoy's chance. And then we have a great chance by Kristen Press with a cross in the box. They rebound it, and she sends a rocket into the back of the post off of a half chance at the top of the box.
That goal coming in the second half, the only goal of the game, and the Red Stars advance by winning, pick up 3 points against Boston 1-0. And then they advance to take on Kansas City, really a rematch of last year's semifinal.
It is, and it's always a tough game against Kansas City and Chicago. They're two tough teams, and we have Kristen Press here again with another shot far post, but it's a great save by Kansas City.
One of the other stories, Alyssa Nair, her 4th straight shutout, making some world-class saves. So then the Red Stars moved on to really take on a depleted Seattle team, and Jen Hoy got a brace in this game.
They do. You see Kristen Press bury and a great save. Jen Hoy finds the rebound and slots it in far post.
Kim Little, the story though in this one as we look at Jen Hoy's second goal, Kim Little got a PK in the closing stages of this one against Alyssa Nair to narrowly miss out on the NWSL record of a 5th straight shutout, but Nair did get the shutout in terms of the minutes, 485 scoreless minutes of soccer, and the unbeaten streak goes to 5 games for the Red Stars. But in tonight's match against Sky Blue, the Red Stars will be without their 3 national team players called up to training camp roster. That means no Alyssa Nair tonight.
Exactly. She's been huge for the Red Stars this season, and it's always tough as a team to deal with that when your center back and your goalkeeper are gone out of the same match. But it's almost a blessing in disguise that Naughton has had to step in when Julie Johnson's been hurt, and she'll be great coming in and stepping into that role.
That also means no Kristen Press, who leads this team with 3 goals and the most chances with 27 shots so far this year. They will again be without Julie Johnston as well. So now they take on a Sky Blue team that has been very up and down. They're dealing with a coaching change and some roster changes. Maya Hayes actually will be out 2 to 4 weeks. She will not play tonight because of an MCL sprain. But this is a Sky Blue team that's really trying to find its identity here tonight.
They are. They're struggling with injuries, and they're coming off of a tough road loss against Western New York, 5-2, and hopefully they can try and get themselves back into the game today.
That's the worst loss for them this year. So the stage is now set. The Red Stars are coming back home in first place. The kickoff with Sky Blue is coming up next.
Wouldn't it be great to feel this good every day? Doing the things you love with the people you love. At Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, we help people of all ages move better so they can live better. If an orthopedic injury or illness slows you down, we're here with everything you need. Enjoy the life you deserve. See what we can do for you at ibji.com. IBJI. Move better, live better.
All right, welcome into Toyota Park. Again, Jackie Manning and Lisa Byington with you. Let's take a look at the NWSL standings up to this point. Some teams have played 7 matches, some with 6, and Washington Spirit and the Chicago Red Stars tied at 13 points apiece, and then 3 teams in 3rd place right behind them. As for your starting lineup, let's start with the visitors and Sky Blue. Kelly O'Hara with the national team. She is there for training camp, and there's some changes. Erica Skrosky will move from center back to outside back, and up top, Tasha Kai not starting for the first time this year. The Chicago Red Stars lineup. Take a look here. There's some changes as well on the back line. Of course, Julie Johnston is not playing. They will miss 3 national team members. Katie Naughton getting the 3rd start of the year. And we are underway here at Toyota Park between the Red Stars and Sky Blue. Interesting enough, Jackie, in this series, Sky Blue has never beaten the Red Stars. Chicago has won 3 times, and then these 2 clubs have tied 5 times.
They haven't. I know it's always kind of a rough battle between the 2 teams, so we'll see how today goes.
First meeting of the year between these two clubs. The last time that they met was a 1-1 draw at Benedictine University. That was back in August of 2015.
A little bit different atmosphere and setting than Benedictine, I think.
It is. As you know, the Chicago Red Stars back playing at the Toyota Park on fresh grass, and it's a great environment for the fans, for the sponsors, for the players, for the coaches, everyone around. A little pressure coming, and got Jen Hoy starting up top for the Chicago Red Stars. Again, no Kristen Press. Of course, she's leading the league with 3 goals, 27 shots, and shots on goal as well. In fact, she is almost averaging about 80% of her shots have been on goal this year.
It's a crazy statistic, but like we talked about, she's such a creature of habit, and will just sit after practice and in trainings and practice those shots however many times it takes. She's very impressive with what she does off the field.
Alyssa Mott's dropping it down. That is Erin Gilliland pushing up from the back line. We will see Gilliland. Now remember, Erin Gilliland made the switch from left back to right back this year. You have Casey Short playing in her first season, or her first season back in a while for Chicago. She's on the left side, a natural lefty for Chicago.
And she's so good at just driving up that space. They leave it open for her in kind of an unbalanced shape, but it leaves that wide space wide open for her to just attack down the left flank.
Again, trying to feed that right side. Ball just getting away a little too quick for Alyssa Motts to get to. The pass coming from Dani Colaprico. Dani Colaprico, Vanessa DiBernardo still anchoring down that midfield for Chicago. It'll be Vanessa DiBernardo who's wearing the captain's armband here tonight in place of Kristen Press. Here is DiBernardo taking the shot off of the back of Raquel Rodriguez, the rookie out of Penn State. And your 2 keepers for these 2 clubs. Michelle Dalton getting her first start of the year for Chicago. Of course, Alyssa Nair has been called up, as we had mentioned, with the national team. The last match that Michelle Dalton played was the semifinals against Kansas City. That was a match that was played right here back in September, a 3-0 loss for Chicago, and Michelle Dalton's probably chomping at the bit to get back at it.
I'm sure she is, and she hasn't played this year, but she played a ton last year when Karina LeBlanc was out with the World Cup, so she has a ton of experience between the goals for this team.
She started in 12 games. Really filled in that void, as you mentioned, with Karina LeBlanc in and out of the lineup as well. The starter for Sky Blue in net will be Caroline Stanley. She is getting her 5th start this year. Now Stanley has kind of shared the duties with Caroline Casey, who actually just re-signed with Sky Blue just recently after the departure of Erin Naylor. We actually talked to head coach of the Sky Blue, Christy Hawley, about that departure from Erin Naylor, and he just said, you know what, we kind of felt like we were actually kind of getting in the way of her Olympic preparation. You know, she hadn't established herself in the #1 spot with this club. Spent some time with the New Zealand national team. They signed her in May, early May of this year. But that situation just not working out for Naylor and Sky Blue, so they parted ways just recently.
And kudos to them. It sounds like they're both trying to make what's best for the team, what's best for her development, especially in an Olympic year.
You mentioned the absence of a Kristen Press. It's going to be so important to see how Sky Blue can fill the void of the absence of Kelly O'Hara, who's been bumped up to the national team. And this is one of the ways that they're going to have to find a way. Sarah Killian kind of jogging over to take this corner kick for Sky Blue, but they have to fill in that void because Kelly O'Hara is their leader offensively. She's taken the most corner chances for Sky Blue. It's a lot of opportunities for people to step up.
It's a great clearance by Knott, and that's one of the things that she'll bring to this game is her height. She's physical, she's able to win balls in the air, and that's what's been lacking a little bit for Chicago.
You see there on your screen, there is a silent auction going on all night long. I want to remind you that, as you saw there on your screen, you can text Red Stars to 52182. All kinds of wonderful gifts you can get. You have a ball signed by the 2016 Red Stars team, a player's anthem jacket. You can even have a press box experience. Maybe you can meet Jackie Manning.
Maybe. Lucky winner.
We will have bidding open until the 70th minute of this match. So again, you can join in now. Text Red Stars to 52182 and get involved. Throw in coming up here for Chicago. Pressure coming on Colaprico there in the midfield. DiBernardo with a little bit of time with Raquel Rodriguez coming at her.
It's a great job by Chicago, though. It's one of the things that they're working on in terms of their midfield possession, is just being better in those small pockets and changing the point of attack. So hopefully you'll see a lot more of that out of them.
Aaron Simon making a nice run on the outside. We'll drop it back. Trying to look for Kim DeCesar. DeCesar, of course, the Duke product. 6th all-time on the career scoring list at Duke with 29 career goals in her career. Actually moved to the forward position when she was a junior in college. But again, as we mentioned, Tasha Kai not starting for the first time for Sky Blue. We are expecting to see her probably in the second half, as well as Leah Galton off the bench. Katie Naughton with the touch here, number 5, the product out of Notre Dame. She's getting her 3rd start. Of course, with Julie Johnston not on the back line. We got to see her first career start against Orlando. She had only played 1 minute going into that match and did a pretty good job.
She did, and it was against a forward like Alex Morgan. So you have to have confidence going out of a game like that, where she did really well defensively.
Kelly Conheeney whistled for the offside. First of this match. Into the 9th minute we go. Again, Chicago Red Stars coming into this match tonight. 13 points in first place of the NWSL, and Sky Blue kind of juggling some injuries. A new coach this year, Christy Hawley, in his first year as the head coach, that he's been with this club and this organization, even with the Red Stars, or with the reserves team, I should say, about 3 years. Kind of learned the business under Jim Gabara. As they play it outside, Erica Skrosky trying to run on. Christy Hawley says he talks to Jim Gabara every day. They don't play Washington until about the end of this month, June 25th, but he said, you know what, you better have the barbecue ready for us. Playing it back to Dalton with some pressure coming from DeCesar. A dangerous situation there for the Red Stars in the box. Lots of pressure on that back line.
Tons of pressure, and I think that's smart by Sky Blue, just because when you lose your goalkeeper and you lose your starting center back, it's going to take some time to get your footing, get everything settled into play. So it's very smart to kind of put them on their back heels as soon as they can.
An offside call on Jen Hoy. So one offside call now on Sky Blue and one on Chicago. Christy Rampone will start things for Sky Blue, the 40-year-old. She turns 41 next month.
She does, and she actually just declined her women's national team call-up, which kudos to her. She said it was for lack of international fitness, and just such a professional, such a legend. It's pretty crazy that she even declined it and is here.
Yeah, Lytle trying to go to work on Sam Johnson. Give and go, Raquel Rodriguez, the nice move at the top of the 18. We'll let it fly. Raquel Rodriguez looking for her first professional goal. She had the game winner in the national championship for Penn State last fall.
She's a very exciting, technical, soccer-minded attacking mid. She'll be fun to get back in here. She was struggling with injuries a little bit, so we'll see how she does today.
Yeah, has a strained right hip flexor that she's been dealing with. Christy Hawley said that, you know, she really could have played in the last match for Sky Blue.
When it's this early in the season, it's smart just to kind of hold her off and make sure she's healthy for the rest of the season.
Playing it back to Stanley. To the feet of Killian. Leading scorer for Sky Blue, Maya Hayes, not playing tonight. Out 2 to 4 weeks with a strained MCL. She's got a couple goals on the year. Again, Sky Blue is going to have to try to find some production without a Maya Hayes, without a Kelly O'Hara. Trying to play it up top to Jen Hoy, and Stanley runs on. Caroline Stanley, the keeper for Sky Blue, played some time in Missouri, some time at USC for her college soccer days. Has allowed 7 goals in 4 complete matches. So what's the pacing, what's the push that you see here between these two clubs early?
It's kind of quiet right now, to be honest. I think both teams are just trying to get themselves settled into the game, a little bit new formations for both teams, different lineups. But here you see Chicago kind of find themselves a little bit with Casey Short driving up that left side, which they're so good at. They're so good at spreading their defense out.
Casey Short got a goal in her first match played here at Toyota Park. Hasn't scored since, but you can see her pushing up a little bit and being a little bit of an offensive presence for Chicago.
And that's when they're so dangerous, is when they get their outsides up and out wide in the flank areas. When Alyssa Motts is tucked in, Vanessa DiBernardo can get on the ball in the midfield, but they stretch the defense so well, and it just creates so many problems for their opponents.
Another throw-in coming up for Sky Blue. Switching fields and playing it out wide. Here's the Sky Blue attack. And Michelle Dalton will keep it in play. Roy Dames says the one thing that Michelle Dalton does is she might not be the most athletic keeper for us, but her positioning is so good.
Her positioning, and she is an incredible shot stopper, especially from close range. She's very explosive side to side, and like I said, she's got plenty of experience with this team, so I think just the more that she can get plays like that, where she can get a little bit more confident in that back line, the better off she'll be today.
Has some pretty big shoes to fill in Alyssa Nair, coming off of 4 shutouts this year. 485 scoreless minutes at one point this season. Chicago Red Stars come into this match on a 5-match unbeaten streak. They dropped their first match to Houston of the year, and they have not lost since. Down the sideline to Erin Simon. Simon has DeCesar if she wants to use her. Nicely played defensively. Sam Johnson getting in the way.
Great defensive positioning by Sam Johnson, and she'll be one that will have to really step up, because at this point right now with Julie Johnston out, she's going to have to be the communicator, the leader in the back line for Chicago.
Drops it back to the feet of DiBernardo, out to Casey Short on the left side. Playing it up top, and another offside call, so a couple of those now in Chicago in the last few minutes. This time against Sofia Huerta. Huerta is not exactly 100% either. Dealing with a right ankle sprain. In fact, Rory Dames has said all week long, we've just kind of tried to manage our injuries right now. We've monitored the players' workload this week. We've had more resting time. In fact, after this match, they'll have about a week off in terms of playing matches.
It's something Chicago does really well, is monitoring their players and making sure everybody is well recovered, everybody's up to speed.
The turn from Conheeney to the feet of Lytle. Here's Killian, lays it off on the right side, fires it away, looking for the head of Shauna Gordon.
It's one thing that Chicago will have to watch. They're outnumbered in the midfield right now. They have got 5 Sky Blue, and so Conheeney's doing a good job of sitting in between the defensive line and the midfield and just playing in those pockets and finding little gaps to play through to.
Red Stars Soccer in 2016, presented by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, proud presenting partner of the Chicago Red Stars. The Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, move better, live better, learn more at ibji.com. In fact, at halftime, get a chance to meet the team physician for the Red Stars, the Meet the Doctor segment, Roger Chams, who is the team doctor. And Jackie, you said you didn't have to get to really know him that well, and that's probably a good thing.
It is. He was actually there the year, I think, after I retired, so I didn't get to know him, but he's got such a great track record with soccer players especially.
Playing it up, trying to run on is Conheeney. The whistle is blown. Also coming up at the half, we'll have a sit-down conversation, too, with Kristen Press. Talk to her about being one of the older players now on this Chicago Red Stars team at the age of 27. And her and Alyssa Nair at 28 are two of the older and the veterans of this team. She's a captain this year. She's played more in the midfield this year. We'll discuss all those things coming up at the half. Huerta will play it back. Red Stars looking to create some shape on this possession.
They need to do a little bit better job of playing into their target's feet and then actually keeping the ball up top. They've struggled anything past midline to really keep possession.
Well, Rory Dames has said, you know what, we really have not started to get into the attack in some of our training sessions yet. We have focused so much defensively for this team, and obviously that has paid off when you have 485 scoreless minutes of soccer. We got a foul coming up on Sofia Huerta. It was the foul committed on Huerta up top.
It's absolutely paid off, and like we always hear, defense wins games, right?
Yeah, defense wins championships.
Defense,
I think
better.
is the phrase. Take another look here at this foul, getting tripped up top. The foul committed, I believe, by Kristen Grubka of Sky Blue. So it'll be DiBernardo and Colaprico lining up for the free kick opportunity for Chicago. This is a team that's had 3 players score its 6 goals this year. Coming from Colaprico, the floating ball inside the box, and it is cleared from Sky Blue. Colaprico again, this time playing it out to Gilliland. Did you like that free kick opportunity?
It's okay, and you'll see them target Naughton just because of her height and ability in the air. A little bit of a bending ball, so it's almost a corner ball when it has that spin on it. So hopefully next time they can get a little bit different arc.
Oh, an empty possession there for Sky Blue. Throw in now coming up for Chicago. Pressure again coming. Sam Johnson has Casey Short out wide and plays it to her. Short with a nice ball, trying to find Jen Hoy, and it's Stanley getting it just inside the 18.
especially with DaCosta at their attacking mid. She's so good and technical on the ball. I'd like to see them get in that pocket a little bit, find DaCosta's feet, and then build from there instead of all these long balls that they've had not a ton of luck with so far.
Again, Caroline Stanley getting the start for Sky Blue. It'll be Caroline Casey, the All-American out of William and Mary, who will be the reserve keeper if necessary for Sky Blue. Stanley had played in the U.S. national team system on the U15, 17, 18, and under 20 teams in her career. In 2015, played in Seattle alongside Haley Koppmeyer and Hope Solo. Into the 22nd minute. Really not a lot of offensive chances here for either of these clubs early in this first half.
There hasn't been. No clean-cut ones anyway. It's been a lot of just possession in the midfield. And then as soon as they try to go forward, it's been a lot of turnovers so far for both teams.
At the top of the 18, it's cleared and out of harm's way by Chicago. Playing it up to Alyssa Motz, who's trying to chase it down. There's been a couple of those that Moss couldn't quite get to today.
Been a little bit off passing timing-wise on the right side for sure. And Motz is back for the first time. She had a game off because she was dealing with a little bit of concussion issues, but she's back. So hopefully in the next few minutes they'll be able to find their footing and timing again.
Yeah, she had played in 5 games, started 5 games, but missed the last match against Seattle, as you mentioned, dealing with concussion-like symptoms. Still looking for her first goal, first assist of the year. Whereas Chicago is on a 5-match unbeaten streak, Sky Blue is coming into this match, mentioned at the top, a 5-2 loss to Western New York. It was the worst loss that they had suffered this year.
It was a rough loss for them on the road against a Western New York team who's doing really well right now, and they just struggled with some of the basics. 3 of the 5 goals were off of crosses into the box, so just kind of the basic stuff like marking up in the box, being disciplined, and hopefully it's things that they can manage and get better at.
And talking to head coach Christy Holly, he told us, you know what, hey, we lost 8 starters from last year. We got to give the team some time to blend together. And guess what their first emphasis is? Defense.
Defense.
Again, both of these teams playing without key contributors due to national team call-ups. Jill Ellis has named 25 players to a training camp roster ahead of 2 June matches that will be played against Japan. As you watch the Red Stars on the field, know that you can get geared up just like your favorite players, jerseys, sweatshirts, and just about anything else your Red Stars wear or use. You can log on to redstarsgear.com today. Erica Skronsky pushing up. All kinds of space to work with here for Erin Simon. Looking to take Erin Gilliland on, and she puts it out of play. There's a couple of matches coming up for the national team against Japan, a June 2nd meeting. Already sold out. June 5th. He played in Cleveland. And then Jill Ellis will name 18 players to suit up for each of those matches. $19,000 tickets have already been sold for that match in Cleveland. Not yet a sellout. Still a lot of fans interested.
That's a great number
for a friendly against Japan.
Exactly. I think there's a ton of momentum going to the Olympics, and hopefully the NWSL will be able to ride that wave as well.
Of course, those national team players will be back for the next home game, June 12th, 5 p.m. against the Portland Thorns. That match presented by Atletico. The Red Stars will also be honoring the recently retired Michelle Lomnicki, who was one of the longest tenured Red Star players and a part of the team since its original WPS inception. Of course, if you're interested in tickets for that one, you can go to chicagoredstars.com. Out wide again to Aaron Simon. Simon and Gilliland. Fun matchup to watch on that side.
It is. Both very passionate, both very enthusiastic.
Both
players.
A little physical, too.
Very physical, very fast.
There.
It'll be a great matchup all game.
Aaron Gilliland, of course, the product out of Kentucky. Aaron Simon, product out of Syracuse. Simon actually had to try out to make this team for Sky Blue. Christy Hawley says, you know what, we are just molding her. She's like a sponge. Very good 1v1 player, as I guess we'll have a chance to see here tonight.
Both attacking and defensively, I guess.
Sky Blue has gotten some good combinations there in the midfield to kind of generate an attack.
They have, like I said, they're outnumbering Chicago right now, and Con Heaney is sitting in that space in between the back line and the midfield and just kind of creating a little bit of havoc for the midfield and defense to sort.
Huerta will find Motts. Amanda DaCosta, one of the new names, number 13 for Chicago this year.
She's been great so far for the Red Stars. She's really fun to watch. She has a lot of confidence on the ball, so she's always looking for it in those pockets. She demands the ball at her feet. She's been a great add-on to this team.
Very strategic get for Chicago out of the Portuguese national team. Brings steady experience professionally in the U.S. and England. Really one of the things you saw Rory Dames on the sideline, one of the things that they're trying to replace is Lori Kolupny's playmaker ability at the number 10 role. They're hoping that DaCosta can fill that a little bit.
They are, and they're very similar players in how they move, what they like to do with the ball, where they like to get it. So I think she'll be very Lori Kolupny-like for sure.
This is not a bad thing to be, very Lori Kolupny.
No, I wish I was more like Lori Kolupny.
You look at Christy Hawley in his first year, a 2-3-1 record. As we said, that they've dealt with just some player personnel changes, some injuries to some major players. Sam Kerr is still injured with that left foot injury. They are playing tonight without Maya Hayes, and Kelly O'Hara being called up to the national team. The things he said that he learned from Jim Gabera, attention to detail in the preparation leading into matches like this, as well as just player management. This is so important sometimes at the professional level.
It is, and he said it's something that you don't really put a ton of focus into until you're actually in the situation.
Sky Blue is on the move to the top of the 18. Gilliland looking to clear. Kim DeCesar battling. Here's Con Heaney.
Con Heaney's been all over the field right now for Sky Blue.
Nice crowd in attendance here at Toyota Park. Again, the return of the club to this facility. A wonderful Sunday evening in the Chicagoland area here in Bridgeview, Illinois. The 31st minute of play. Not a lot of offense to start this one. We mentioned Chicago has 3 players that have scored all 6 goals. Here's DeCesar trying to play it back to Conheeney. Whereas Chicago has 3 players who scored 6 goals this year, Sky Blue has had 7 goals from 5 different players this year.
They are, and that's kind of exactly what Chicago looks like right now. Like, they're lacking their leadership qualities. They need a little bit more of a push, a little bit more passion right now. They just look a little bit sluggish this half.
Nicely played to Motts running on. Motts will take a try. And the nice save from Caroline Stanley.
It's a great build-up by Chicago. Sofia Huerta with a great flick off to Motts into space, and then Motts picks her head up, tries to float one in past the keeper, who is slightly off of her line.
Motts had only 3 shot attempts coming into this match. 2 of those 3 shots on goal. You mentioned she's still looking for her first goal, first assist, first points of the 2016 season. Shauna Gordon in the middle of the field will drop it back to Killian. And a foul committed on Chicago. Amanda DaCosta, the guilty party. Simon lost it. Throw in Chicago. The Red Stars broadcast brought to you in part by Blooming Color, the official printer of the Chicago Red Stars. They've made area businesses stand out for the past 25 years. Are looking forward to serving you as well. For all your printing needs, whatever the size or scale, find them online at bloomingcolor.com. Out wide to Casey Short. Hoy trying to find Huerta. And suddenly they are making Caroline Stanley go to work a little bit over there.
It's a decent idea. I don't think Jen Hoy realized just how much space she had around the ball. She could have taken it down, got her head up, and drawn her opponent just a little bit more.
Worry Dames has tried to have the midfield possess a little bit more this year. Back to Colaprico, trying to slip it through to Huerta. Huerta stays onside, battling Stanley, the one touch to the outside. Goal! Sofia Huerta's first of 2016.
It's a fantastic goal by Huerta, and she needed one of those under her belt to get a little bit more confidence going into games.
Who would do the scoring when Kristen Press is not here for Chicago? The first answer is Sofia Huerta.
You see a great ball go in. She's kind of off the shoulder of the back line of Sky Blue, takes a great touch around the keeper, knows she has to pick it up because the defender was coming back, and just pings it into the far post.
1-0 Chicago over Sky Blue. One more look at it. Huerta had 11 shots coming into this match.
She needed that under her belt. Like I said, she needs a little bit more confidence. She has so much ability around the goal. She has a spark to her, and I think this will kind of help her get that back.
Drafted as the 11th overall pick in the second round of the 2015 draft, she really kind of stepped up at the beginning of last year when some of the national team players were not playing with their respective clubs. Went back-to-back in Player of the Week awards last year. Certainly has the potential and the talent to do some big things for the Red Stars.
She absolutely does. Hopefully that goal provides a little bit of the spark that Chicago needs, because up until that point they just looked a little sluggish, tired. Hopefully this gets them moving more.
I mentioned before that Huerta goal that Rory Dames had to put a strong emphasis on maintaining possession in the midfield this year. And Jen Hoy had said, hey, in our last match against Seattle, we've had a little bit more penetrating attacks. There's Motts into the hands of Stanley. Jen Hoy said the last game, Jackie, that we've been given more freedom of movement up top. The midfielders were playing to the forwards a little bit more, and we're talking about sort of that generation and that evolution that they have been going from a focus of defense to now focusing on the attack a little bit more.
Exactly. And they've done a great job in the midfield to find those pockets, keep possession. It takes a little bit more guts and different efforts to try and keep the ball, so that's why their defense has to be so strong, which they have been. But again, it creates more space and a little bit more creativity up top.
Here's Sky Blue with a chance. Again, out to the outside for Aaron Simon. And it looks like we have an offside call. Well, Rory Dames said last week was the first week we really gotten into the front five, per se. After our first week, he said people were probably panicking when we lost to Houston. A 3-1 decision. They had to deal with their back four first, and then they kind of worked in Danicola Prico and Vanessa DiBernardo, and then they slowly worked in the front two and how they would incorporate themselves with that defensive possession.
Like you said, when your midfield has possession more and they're kind of pinging the ball around the opponents.
Casey Short. Step back move. How about another one? Stanley with quite the save to prevent a 2-0 lead.
And things like that, that's what I love to see out of Huerta. She has such a good touch. She's quick to turn, and she can take that shot with her right foot to bend it around the keeper, just like you see here.
Well, the confidence that Sofia Huerta is suddenly playing with tonight.
She's so dangerous when she's confident.
Red Stars corner kick. The first Red Stars corner kick of the night brought to you by the Illinois Women's Soccer League. For every Red Stars corner kick this season, IWSL will donate a game ticket to a local nonprofit organization. A low ball, Short trying to flick on. We haven't seen a lot of service opportunities that have looked like that for Chicago.
No, we haven't. A ton of this game has been played in the midfield.
Sky Blue looking to switch fields. Here's Casey Short. Huerta at speed. Battling Kristen Grubpa on that side. This Red Stars broadcast brought to you in part by Athletico, the official physical therapy and athletic trainers of the team. Athletico is better for everybody. Find them online at athletico.com. Again, Athletico is your presenting sponsor for the next home game on June 12th against Portland. Portland sitting at 12 points, right behind Chicago, right behind Washington. One of those three teams in a tie for third place. All the U.S. national team members should be back in attendance for that match. Kristen Press, Julie Johnson, Alyssa Nair. And for the Thorns, Tobin Heath, Megan Klingenberg. Again, tickets available for that one, ChicagoRedStars.com. Into the 40th minute. Out wide to Killian. They keep it in the center of the field to Rodriguez. Conheeney will run on to Michelle Dalton. Haven't had to say Michelle Dalton's name in the last few minutes.
You haven't. Sky Blue's done a really good job at freeing up space, getting people out wide and getting some services in. They just haven't been very dangerous off of their services yet.
Closing in on the final minutes here of this first half, Jackie Manning. formerly Jackie Santa Catarina, former Chicago Red Star, and I'm Lisa Byington. We're happy that you could tune in. Beautiful Sunday night here from Toyota Park in a battle between Sky Blue and the Chicago Red Stars. Gilliland looking to split the D. Gilliland finding her way all the way into the box. It's a one-person Erin Gilliland show.
Great effort by Erin Gillen. She's so fast. She's so strong. I like to see her get up on that side flank more and attack that wide space, attack the end line even more.
Taking on two Sky Blue defenders on that play.
And she's fast enough to be able to push that through and slide past them.
Here's Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez, the Herman Trophy winner. Given to the best college player in the country. Got it last year. What a year she had last year. Sky Blue playing it out wide. Into the box. Wide left. What do you like about Sky Blue's attack in the last few possessions?
They're doing a really good job at picking apart the midfield, spraying people out wide and getting them the ball in the wide spaces. They just haven't been dangerous off the final pass yet and had a really good chance on goal quite yet. But they've been great in terms of squeezing them to one side. They've turned Chicago into a ton of pressure, lots of turnovers from the back line.
Yeah, the chances really for both clubs have been few and far between in this first half. Again, Sky Blue will try attacking from that right side. Huerta will come back for it. Approaching the 44th minute. Well, you may not realize it, but the Chicago Red Stars Academy offers girls ages 8 to 17 elite training through residential day camps and personal training. Conheeney, the spin, a combination play there for Sky Blue. That Red Stars Academy, by the way, it's offered in Indiana and Wisconsin, as well as the Chicagoland area. Before this half is over with, we want to remind you too, the silent auction is taking place. Lots of great options for fans out there. A ball signed from the 2016 team, a player's anthem jacket, a press box experience. Rodriguez with the shot. Raquel Rodriguez has had a couple good looks in this half.
She is. She's so smart soccer-wise. She gets herself in great spots, and she's got a great shot from distance as well.
One last plug for that silent auction. Again, you can text Red Stars to 52182. That's 52182 to get involved with some of the silent auction. Some of the Red Stars memorabilia that's available live online here tonight. Taylor Lytle as Dalton came out. That was a dangerous look for the Red Stars.
It was a little bit of miscommunication with the back line and Michelle Dalton. They got lucky. It's creeped through the center back and Michelle. Unfortunately, Sky Blue was not able to get on the end of it.
So a couple of decent back-to-back looks now for Sky Blue here to close this first half. We're into stoppage time now here in this first half. And not a whole lot of stoppage time that we needed. At halftime, Chicago Red Stars, thanks to the first goal of the 2016 season by Sofia Huerta, lead Sky Blue 1-0. Huerta goal coming in the 34th minute of play. We'll be back after these messages with the CJ Wilson Mazda halftime show. Remember, you can drive what the Red Stars drive when you shop at CJ Wilson Mazda.
Halftime of this Red Stars game is presented by CJ Wilson Mazda. CJ Wilson Mazda is offering Red Stars fans $500 on their next CJ Wilson Mazda. Bring your ticket stub with you on your CJ Wilson Mazda test drive for details. Drive what the Red Stars drive. Visit CJ Wilson Mazda online at zoomzoomnation.com. Visit them in Orland Park on 159th Street, in Countryside on LaGrange Road, and in Lake Villa on Grand Avenue.
My name is Roger Chams. I've been in Illinois Bone and Joints for the last 18 years. I've had a long history with a lot of soccer clubs. I take care of 3 of the prominent soccer clubs in Chicago, take care of 8 high schools, a college, been on trips with the U.S. Soccer Federation and the national team, and started with the Red Stars approximately 2 years ago. You know, I have the privilege of taking care of a team that I get to watch some of the best athletes in the country play on the national level, and also I get to spectate, but more importantly take care of some of the best athletes around. Women athletes, especially soccer players, we treat the mundane, which is the most common. About 50% of the injuries we see are quadriceps tears, hamstring tendon sprains, strains, lateral ankle sprains, concussions. But the most devastating injury that we see is an ACL tear, and that accounts for approximately 1% of the injuries that we see, but probably the most devastating and the most time off of matches. Preventative programs, it's about training all year round. It's about what you do pre-season, during the season, and post-season, and training correctly, but there's a fine line making sure they don't overtrain. And there's a lot of programs now with land jump programs, proprioception balancing programs, programs for footwork, programs to do functional strength exercises, and those are all programs that can prevent injuries, including ACLs. Yeah, the answer to that is at the level of the national team, they don't need a lot of advice. These are people that are athletes that have trained all over the world in different weathers, climates, countries, and they're so fine-tuned. They know their bodies, they know their training regimen. The only advice I'd have for them really is to stay hydrated, make sure you acclimate to the weather early, and most importantly, do what you've always done, train the regular way and no difference. Most importantly, though, is with all the distractions of the Olympic, it's to really take the time and rest. Well, Illinois Bone and Joint is unique in that under one roof you've got probably the biggest assortment of fellowship-trained sports medicine docs, both surgeons as well as non-operative sports medicine physicians, under the same roof with some of the best physical therapists, athletic trainers, and sports performance people. So it's unique in that under one roof you can do everything from prevention programs, including post-operative programs, and then back to sports bridge programs or phase 4 programs, and that's unique in the city.
Wouldn't it be great to feel this good every day? Doing the things you love with the people you love. At Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, we help people of all ages move better so they can live better. If an orthopedic injury or illness slows you down, we're here with everything you need. Enjoy the life you deserve. See what we can do for you at ibji.com. IBJI. Move better, live better.
But you're winning. Oh, thank you.
Halftime of this Red Stars game is presented by CJ Wilson Mazda. CJ Wilson Mazda is offering Red Stars fans $500 on their next CJ Wilson Mazda. Bring your ticket stub with you on your CJ Wilson Mazda test drive for details. Drive what the Red Stars drive. Visit CJ Wilson Mazda online at zoomzoomnation.com. Visit them in Orland Park on 159th Street, in Countryside on LaGrange Road, and in Lake Villa on Grand Avenue.
Happy to be joined now by Kristen Press, and I guess when you look at the roster and you look at the ages now, how does that affect? I didn't mean to bring up a bad subject, but how does that maybe change how you lead this team this year?
I think, it's totally different from anything I've ever been on in a really long time, since college. That was the last time I was an older player. And I think, just transitioning from last year to this year, the amount of players that we lost with their experience, it's different. And, the good side is that we have so much youth, energy, excitement, passion, people who just want to learn. I think that's really good for our side. And so for me and for Alyssa, carrying the older torch, I think it's just about sharing our experiences, relating to the players. And I think a lot of the girls are here because they have aspirations to play on the national team, to have long careers. And so they look to us in that way, and we trying to help them manage their bodies and, play to their best ability every game.
You brought up Alyssa Nair. What has been her greatest impact here so far?
Alyssa is an amazing goalkeeper. I think that, obviously her biggest impact is that she's going to keep the ball out of the back of our net. But just other than that, she has this passion for the game that just is infectious, and she's always willing to stay after practice, kind of make an adjustment on my technique when I'm shooting on her, kind of selfless in that way. And so I think that, once she gets more into the group and she gives that to more people, it'll be fantastic. You
have had to handle your normal striker role, but then you've also had to handle some added responsibility. How are you kind of juggling all of that this year?
I think it's different for me, and it's different than the role that I have on the national team, so that's fun, and I enjoy being stretched a little bit. I'm the captain now this year, and that's a new role, and there's a lot of responsibility there, off the field stuff. I definitely have to stay focused in scoring goals and doing what I'm great at, and now I've been playing a little bit in the midfield, it takes a lot. It's a big change for me. I've been in the same role with the same mindset for so long, but it's actually all been really fun. They're all challenges that I just embrace.
How do you learn the midfield?
That is a good question. If you find out, let me know. No, I think it's just I have a sense of the game, and I try not to think so much when I play. And so my instincts definitely are sharper as a forward. But when I do play in a deeper role, what I have done is just quieted my mind and let my body do what it knows how to do.
What's the excitement level to take on in Orlando, one of the expansion teams for this league?
I'm really excited for this game. I think it's an important game for us. If we are able to get 3 points consecutively at home, I think that makes a big statement in the league. Every game matters. Every game is difficult in this league, and that's unlike any other league in the world. They have a huge buzz around them with their, they have a star-studded roster. They've got an amazing home environment. So for them to come to our house, it will mean a lot for us to get those 3 points.
You will be playing, obviously, with the goal of the Olympics in mind, coming up in August. How can you tell that there's still momentum that has been built from what you guys were able to do last year in the World Cup?
I think that it's just the media coverage, the companies that are surround us, the way it's transferred into the NWSL, there's definitely a buzz. Just as an individual and as players, it's that intensity that's still there. And I really do think that, after this year, we're all going to take like a big deep breath and, in the off season, and just be able to enjoy life outside of soccer, because it's been a serious crunch and it's always worth it, but it's been really tough.
The coolest thing that someone has said to you because of the World Cup and the national team success is what?
The coolest thing that someone said to me?
A fan maybe approached you.
Okay, well, this isn't like because of the World Cup, but actually at one of our last games, we had the slogan equal play, equal pay. And I saw an 8-year-old girl in the stadium, and she had a sign that said equal pay. And I thought that was kind of amazing.
That is definitely amazing that it's impacting someone so young.
Yeah, and the lesson that she's learning to stand up for herself, to respect herself, and to fight for herself is kind of incredible.
You brought up the fact that you have the captain title. What does that mean to Kristen Press?
It means a lot. I think it's about trust from the staff and trust from my team. I want to kind of let my natural strengths just come out, as opposed to being something that I'm not. I'm not really a rah, like give you a big pump up talk before the game kind of person, but I think that I can lead through hard work and example, and I think that it's really important to me to have a bigger role than to just be a goal scorer, and now I have that opportunity.
There's a lot of young fans out there who watch you, who want to be a goal scorer like you. Tell them, tell me, tell your fans what one drill that has worked the best in terms of improving your skill up top.
Well, I have spent a lot of time in my life by myself on a soccer field with a bag of balls and a goal. So there's millions of drills you can do, but I'm very, very simple. I like to just take a first touch and do a simple shot, and what I think is key for young players or people trying to develop shooting skills is to not just shoot it at the goal trying to score, but to actually work on a specific shot. So like a right foot bent into the far post, and do that repetition, and then change the shot so that when you're trying to shoot, it's a specific drill that you're, or a specific shot that you're trying to accomplish.
Well, whatever you're doing is working. Kristen Press, thank you for the time. We appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Halftime of this Red Stars game is presented by CJ Wilson Mazda. CJ Wilson Mazda is offering Red Stars fans $500 on their next CJ Wilson Mazda. Bring your ticket stub with you on your CJ Wilson Mazda test drive for details. Drive what the Red Stars drive. Visit CJ Wilson Mazda online at zoomzoomnation.com. Visit them in Orland Park on 159th Street, in Countryside on LaGrange Road, and in Lake Villa on Grand Avenue.
Wouldn't it be great to feel this good every day? Doing the things you love with the people you love. At Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, we help people of all ages move better so they can live better. If an orthopedic injury or illness slows you down, we're here with everything you need. Enjoy the life you deserve. See what we can do for you at ibji.com. IBJI. Move better, live better.
Back here at Toyota Park, we're at halftime between the Sky Blue and the Chicago Red Stars. It's a 1-0 Chicago Red Stars lead. Here's your highlights from the first half. Jackie Manning and Lisa Byington with you. Alyssa Motz had the first real good look for Chicago.
She did. The forwards did a great job to occupy the backs, the outside backs, the center backs, which creates all that space for Alyssa Motz to drive into. She got her head up. She saw the keeper a little bit off of her line and goes for the chance.
Good for Chicago to have Alyssa Motz back. Again, she had missed the last match against Seattle because of concussion-like symptoms. We take another look, though. It's Mott's opportunity there. No, Chicago didn't get a whole lot of opportunities, but this was their best one and converted by Sofia Huerta.
Huerta does a great job at staying in between the lines. She finds space. She makes the diagonal run and gets the ball at her feet, then takes a great touch around the keeper and nails it to the back post.
Huerta, again, one more look at it. Huerta's first goal of the 2016 season. Coming into this match, she had taken 11 shots, 3 of those on frame, and then Huerta just absolutely fooled Caroline Stanley, who is getting the starting call for Sky Blue tonight. And then that felt so nice. Huerta almost had another opportunity to go for 2 and get a brace a few minutes after that goal.
And it's huge for Chicago to get her confident. They need more scoring threats, and you see here take a quick turn inside, get it on her right foot, and tries to bend it around the keeper, but Caroline Stanley does a great job to knock it over.
Well, not a whole lot, like I said, not a whole lot of scoring chances for Chicago, but Sky Blue actually generated a couple of looks as they closed the half out.
They did. Sky Blue did a great job of picking apart the midfield, spraying balls out wide. They just haven't been great at their final pass or having a really good chance on goal quite yet.
A driven ball from Raquel Rodriguez at the top of the 18. Again, Michelle Dalton is the one in net for Chicago. Of course, Michelle Dalton getting the starting nod, with Alyssa Nair getting the call up. This is what's at stake. Washington Spirit and the Chicago Red Stars are tied for first place, 13 points, a dead even 4-1-1 record. And then right behind them are three teams deadlocked for third place: Portland, Western New York, and Orlando. And Jackie, Orlando's been a nice little addition to the league this year.
They have, especially just because of the atmosphere that Orlando's fans brings to the game and to the league. It's been awesome to see the excitement around the team, how well that team's doing. It's been great to add them in.
A couple of big matches back to back for Chicago. Sky Blue here, and then they have Portland coming up. Portland again with the 12 points. That match coming up on June 12th. Again, that's the next home match that you can catch here in Chicagoland area at Toyota Park. The Red Stars again will be honoring in that match the women in business throughout the game. If you're part of a women's business group and you'd like to attend and have your group of successful women recognized, simply call the Red Stars ticket office, 773-697-8699. And we are underway here in this second half. Again, the only goal is scored. We showed it to you. Sofia Huerta in the 34th minute of play. So you're the Sky Blue, you're head coach Christy Hawley. What do you tell your crew at halftime?
Just to be a little bit more sophisticated around the 18. They've done a great job at picking apart the lines and finding little pockets to get in and out of, especially in the midfield, just to be a little bit better around the box and make some smarter choices.
Both of these teams, if you're just joining us, of course, missing some important pieces to the puzzle. Players being called up to the national team training camp for a couple of friendlies that Team USA will play against Japan. A nice combination look. Jen Hoy getting the start again with Sofia Huerta up top for Chicago. Chicago missing out on Kristen Press, Alyssa Nair, and Julie Johnston. The big one that Sky Blue is missing is Kelly O'Hara, a unique end-line to end-line player. Also want to remind you that we have a silent auction going on. You want to get involved with this, and you can bid on unique Red Stars memorabilia all the way up into the 70th minute. Just text Red Stars to 52182. Again, that can happen all the way up to the 70th minute of play. Signed ball by the 2016 team. A jacket you can get, a press box experience, all of those things are just examples of things you can bid on. Erica Skrosky going to work on the right side.
She's done really well in that outside back position. You usually see her line up with Christy Rampone at center back, but she's done great at giving up and down the flank.
Well, she just earned her team a corner kick opportunity. And again, Kelly O'Hara coming into this match had taken 19 of Sky Blue's 21 corner chances. So Sky Blue trying to fill that void a little bit. Doing it tonight with Sarah Killian taking it. High floater to the top of the 6, and Dalton grabs it. Where did she come from?
Great job by Dalton. That's huge as a keeper to be able to come off of your line on corner kicks, especially defensively, and just be able to keep the ball out of the back of the net.
Last year she had been second in the NWSL with 5 shutouts. Remember, the last game that she had played was back in September of 2015. Alyssa Nair had gotten every start and played every single minute of the 2016 season for Chicago.
Like you said before, it's huge shoes to fill, but she's got the experience, so hopefully she can find the confidence to finish out this game.
Nice heel flick. And a chance for Sky Blue, and it's Casey Short trying to clear it. They were looking for Kim DeCesar. Here's Raquel Rodriguez into the box. She goes tumbling. Sky Blue wanted a call. They're not going to get it.
It's a good no call by the ref. It's great by Rodriguez, though. She's so good on the ball. To see her get into those spots will be great for Sky Blue.
Raquel Rodriguez looking for her first score of her career. She's got an assist already. 50% of her shots coming into this match have been on frame. What a year she had last year. She played every single minute of the 2015 FIFA World Cup for Costa Rica. And then what'd she do? She just went and played college soccer in the fall for Penn State and won a national title.
She did. She had a great college career. And like I said, she's a player that just wants the ball at her feet all the time.
Certainly a player that can definitely make things happen. Picked second overall in the 2016 NWSL draft. I want to remind you again, all the way up until the 70th minute of this match, you can get involved with our silent auction. All you have to do is text Red Stars to 52182. All kinds of great Red Stars memorabilia. 2016 signed soccer ball. A player's anthem jacket, a press box experience. That's up until the 70th minute. Text Red Stars to 52182. Can't ask for more beautiful weather than what we have here tonight at Bridgeview, Illinois. Jackie Manning, Lisa Byington with you. Red Stars looking to keep pace to stay in first place with the Washington Spirit. Coached by Jim Cabrera. There's a trouble there for Stanley. Sky Blue's got to be careful.
They do, and it's good to see Red Stars getting them on their heels and pressuring a little bit more. They just look slightly defeated today on the field, so hopefully this second half can get them a little bit more energy.
That was Amanda DaCosta and Sofia Huerta applying a little bit of a pressure. Mishandled ball right at the top of the 18 by Sam Johnson, and Shauna Gordon almost made him pay.
It's probably Sky Blue's cleanest chance on goal, and it came off of a turnover by Chicago's back line. A little bit of a miscommunication. Chicago's lucky that it didn't end up in the back of their net.
Well, Gordon had a clean look at it.
It's a great run by Gilliland. She is so fast and so athletic.
Give it right back to her. Why not? Gilliland into the box. And it's Stanley who puts a stop to that run.
Something we haven't really seen Erin Gilliland do a ton of, just because Casey Short is usually the one driving up the line and Gilliland has to kind of stay in the back line, but it's great to see her attack. She's so fast, so strong.
Had a knockout rookie season last year. Really kind of made a name for herself. Drafted high. Had a successful year at Kentucky, a career at Kentucky. SEC Defensive Player of the Year back in 2014. Look out, Sofia Huerta had some space. Huerta has been flirting with that brace here tonight.
She has. She's done a much better job at the end of the first half and this second half at pulling herself off the line and freeing up space with the ball at her feet a little bit more.
Throw-in coming up here for Sky Blue. We'll also have a substitution coming in, the first of the game. And this will be our first look at Leah Galton, who is the rookie coming out of Hofstra. Native out of England, and she'll be coming in for Shauna Gordon. So Gordon had that point-blank look. And Gordon will be out. Leah Galton will be in. Now, Galton was just added to the team on May 19th in her first game. How about 2 days later after that, May 21st? Played against Western New York, and in her first professional match, she picked up an assist for Sky Blue.
She'll be a great addition to the Sky Blue team for sure.
Some pressure now coming from the Red Stars.
Especially when you see their keeper way out of the back off of her line. You've got to get everybody forward and pressed because she's nowhere near the goal.
Rodriguez will slow things up. Playing it out wide, but Sam Johnson is there. Johnson pushing up. Out to Skrosky. It'll be a sky blue throw-in coming up. Sky Blue had a really nice win at the start this year against Seattle. It's only able to pick up 2 wins since then. Win against Seattle and a win against Boston. Meanwhile, Chicago's trying to go for its 5th win in 7 matches this year. Rory Dames has said, we've gotten better each week, and the thing that he likes is the fact that they've been able to translate what they've done in training to the games, which he says doesn't always happen. Here's on the attack, Lytle sending it in. And Golton trying to chase it down. Red Star Soccer 2016 presented by the Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, proud presenting partner of the Chicago Red Stars. Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, move better, live better. Learn more at ibji.com. There's a chance. It was Motts trying to run on.
Better by Chicago to get Alyssa Motts freed up. They haven't gotten into the attack too much this game in the second half especially.
How does this second half look different to you from the first half?
It's a little bit more of a spark behind Chicago, but Sky Blue has done a great job at keeping possession, getting Chicago in the back, and attacking those outside spaces. They've had plenty of chances in the second half so far.
And DaCosta is down. Amanda DaCosta, something's not right with that left leg. DaCosta's already dealt with some injuries early in the year. She had a hip flexor injury in warm-ups of that first game against Houston, so she was a late scratch. Here's another look at it.
Not quite sure what happened. It looks like she's up and moving. She'll be all right.
And Rory Dames knows how important she is to have her in that lineup.
She's definitely one of those players that'll provide that spark, that passion and energy. So important for her to stay in the game.
Acquired by Chicago from the Washington Spirit. She's definitely been a nice addition out there for the Red Stars. Here's another free kick chance for Chicago. The flick on. Again, finding the head of Katie Naughton.
She's a great addition to this lineup just because she's so great in the air, and Chicago lacks that both offensively and defensively, especially with Julie Johnston out.
Pretty good when your head coach says that Katie Naughton as a rookie has a lot of maturity as a player and as a person beyond her years as a rookie.
She does. She has a ton of experience, some international experience as well. She'll be an awesome pro.
One last reminder, again, we have the silent auction going on. You can text Red Stars to 52182, all kinds of great Red Stars memorabilia. You can do that up until the 70th minute of this match. Text Red Stars to 52182. It's Hoy and Huerta. And Hoy needs some help. She gets it from DiBernardo. And so Sky Blue will reset. Sky Blue playing tonight without Maya Hayes, an MCL sprain. She could be out 2 to 4 weeks. Sam Kerr still out with the off-season foot injury to that left foot. Erin Naylor, not a part of the team anymore. They re-signed Caroline Casey. Lots of movement going on here for Sky Blue here in these first few weeks of play.
Tons of movement, tons of injuries. And I think that's part of the reason why their season has just been up and down so far this year. They haven't really been able to get into the swing of things and find any sort of rhythm throughout this season. So once everybody's healthy, I do think they'll be a handful.
We've already made one substitution, Leah Galton. We probably expect to see Tasha Kai as one of their other substitutions tonight. Again, Kai not getting the start for the first time this year. Normally has played a full 90 minutes. She's about 33 years old, turned 33 last Sunday. She wasn't playing 90 minutes when she was like 20 years old, but she is now as a 33-year-old.
Exactly, and I think when you go through a 5-2 loss, you just have to look at things that you need to change, and that was one of them. But like Coach said before the game, she'll be a huge spark off the bench for Sky Blue if and when she comes in.
Has a goal already this year. So we've got Amanda DeCasa coming out, Taylor Como coming in, the first substitution here for the Red Stars. And you have to wonder if that substitution would have still been made if we didn't see DeCosta getting bumped up a little bit.
Exactly. Taylor Como's done really well when she's been in the game, though. She's similar to DeCosta. She'll be good off the bench and a nice spark for Chicago.
Started 5 games, 9 appearances for the Portland Thorns last year. Look out. Some open space for Hoy, dropping it back to Huerta. She was trying to get the outside touch on that.
It's a great ball. A little bit of a misstep by Huerta. It catches her on the right foot, and I think she would have liked it on her left. But again, it's great for Chicago to get those chances and start to find their energy, start to find their rhythm.
Yeah, you would think that the left-footed play would be easier than the outside right foot that she was trying to go with that touch.
I'm not sure. It didn't look like the ball was going to get through. I think it caught her by surprise a little bit. But again, those chances are great for her and for Chicago. And they really need to build off of that momentum.
Colaprico to DiBernardo. Casey Short looking to take on. Little push and shove from 24 to 24. Little battle, Kelly Conheeney and Danny Colaprico.
Conheeney's been able to get her feet on the ball a ton just because DeCesar's done a great job at holding the ball up.
Here is one more look. Oh, just wide right. Man, the chances that Sofia Huerta has had tonight.
It's a quick transition from one end to the other. This is exactly the game that Sofia Huerta needs under her belt, just to go forward with more confidence, get herself on the ball more, and get herself more chances.
Huerta has the only goal of the match in the 34th minute of play, but she's been awfully active, and especially in the last few minutes of this second half.
You can tell she's hungry. She wants the ball at her feet more.
I mentioned in the first half, she came out red hot to start 2015, back-to-back Player of the Week honors.
Similar timing, too, as to this year. She started to kind of find her groove when those national team players were out.
And you see, this is our first look, too, at Tasha Kai, who is now in. She replaces Kim DeCesar. So again, Kai, who is not did not get a start for the first time this year. She had started all 6 matches for Sky Blue, now coming off the bench. Interesting story with Tasha Kai. A lot of soccer experience. She had not played soccer really a lot in the last few years. She played 6 months of rugby. Left the game basically when the WPS sort of folded. Wasn't ready to start back in soccer when the NWSL started. Her father passed away about a year ago, and his last message to her was, hey, you have some unfinished business to make in soccer. I want to see you get back into it. See the substitution there for Chicago. Como for DaCosta. So Sky Blue has already made 2 moves. Chicago with the 1 move. And cutting back from avoiding the end line. Sky Blue sending it back up top. Sarah Killian. Killian into the box. Killian still has it. Nice clear from Sam Johnson. To the top of the 6. And already there's the presence of Tasha Kai.
That's exactly what the coach wanted, was just that spark off the bench when she entered the game, and you've seen it already.
The Red Stars broadcast brought to you in part by Blooming Color, the official printer of the Chicago Red Stars. They've made area businesses stand out for more than 25 years. For all your printing needs, whatever the size or scale, find them online at bloomingcolor.com. Quarter kick opportunity. Here's Killian.
Dangerous ball in and a dangerous header from Sky Blue.
Michelle Dalton will take her time. Listen there, this defense has been so good coming into this match. 4 shutouts, 485 scoreless minutes of soccer. I'm looking to shut out Sky Blue again here tonight. Killian has Skrosky, and she uses her. Skrosky to the hands of Dalton.
Skrosky's done a great job getting up that flank and occupying Vanessa DiBernardo, who's been pulled out wide because of how forward she's gotten. She hasn't been in a normal midfield space much this game.
Up top to Jen Hoy, needs a little support. Here's Cola Prico.
Cole Prico's one that you don't say often, but she's so in game. She's on the ball all the time. She dictates the pace of the game.
The turn and mishandled by Huerta.
Good build up and movement from Sky Blue.
Yeah, kind of nice touch. Dalton comes way off, outside the 18.
Sky Blue's doing a better job of finding that final pass and into their front runners instead of just keeping the ball in the midfield, spraying it out wide and then losing it in their cross in the box. They're actually being a little bit more dangerous this half in terms of their final play on the ball.
Here's Rodriguez. She was looking for Conhini. One of 2 matches going on tonight between the Chicago Red Stars and Sky Blue. The other one going on, Portland Thorns taking on the Seattle Reign. Both of these matches starting at the exact same time. Again, Portland, one of the 3 teams tied for 3rd place right below Chicago and Washington with 12 points. Look at Christy Hawley in his first year as the head coach for Sky Blue. Served a year with this club under Jim Gabera. Couple of years as a coach for the reserve team. Here's Lytle sending it in. Wide open look. Sky Blue ties it up.
Chicago just got caught watching a little bit in that whole sequence. You see the ball get sprayed out wide. Lytle does a great job at keeping her head up, finding somebody at the back post. It misses through 3 players, and she just gets a touch and calmly slots it into the back post. You see here again, she takes her touch, she slots it in, and it's a great ball to the back post, but Chicago gets caught watching the ball, loses her on the back end, and she has plenty of time on the ball to pick her head up and finish it.
Leah Galton really kind of making a name for herself. Her first professional game, she gets an assist. Her second professional game, she gets a goal.
She'll be a huge addition to Sky Blue going forward.
Just a second-round pick in 2016 out of Hofstra. There's a little bit of a delay in terms of her visa. She had to graduate from Hofstra, so her student visa turned into a work visa. Sky Blue had to be patient in that process, but they are happy that they have her now on this roster.
You see here already what that has done to Sky Blue. They're energetic, they're pressing the back line and providing numbers forward into their attack.
So again, the assist to Taylor Lytle. That's her 3rd of the year. She had a couple of assists in the first 2 games of this year. And the goal to Leah Galton. We have a substitution being made. Cara Walls. We'll see her first time. In for Alyssa Motz.
I believe she's been dealing with an ankle injury that's put her out for the last few weeks, but she's great up top. She's fast, she's athletic, so hopefully they can find her feet and get her going forward.
All kinds of offensive success at Wisconsin. We have a tie match here between Sky Blue and the Red Stars. Sky Blue looking to take the lead.
If you or a loved one is hurt or feeling pain, where would you go for care? Illinois Bone and Joint Institute is the choice for many people and families who want the best American needed care. If you have a bone or joint problem, IBG has a special.
And with that change, you'll see Cara Walls go up top and Sofia Huerta actually pop out into the wide space where Motz was.
Again, Walls in for Motz. Alyssa Motz back after missing the last match against Seattle with a concussion. She had an impact here for Chicago tonight. So a 70-minute goal and a 34-minute goal. We are tied at 1-1 between Sky Blue and Chicago. DiBernardo trying to play it out to Gilliland. Gilliland with that speed, looking to charge on. Chicago might have something going there on that right side.
You do. You'll see Erin Gillen start to push forward, especially in the final minutes of play, just to provide some more attack for Chicago.
Again, this is a situation Erin Gilliland had switched from the left outside back to the right back this year. Sort of learning that position. Played over 1,500 minutes last season for the team, the 3rd highest minutes for Chicago. Here comes Sky Blue right back at it. Erica Skrosky getting double teamed. Skrosky's in trouble. Finds an outlet with Lytle.
Vanessa DiBernardo, she's so underrated. You don't talk about her very often, but her work rate and her abilities defensively and offensively are so awesome for this team. The amount of ground that she covers is crazy.
Already Dames has said Vanessa DiBernardo, Danley Colaprico, good enough to make this national team.
They both are, and they're both so fun to watch. The amount of times that they're both on the ball is crazy.
Approaching the 75th minute. Not exactly the play that Vanessa DiBernardo wanted. Red Stars Academy, you might not realize it, but the Academy offers girls ages 8 to 17 elite training through residential day camps, personal training, and team training. It all takes place through the Chicagoland area and even into Indiana and Wisconsin. To learn more about how your daughter or their team can train with the pros and train just like the Red Stars, all you have to do is head to redstarsacademy.com. Rory Dames, what are the adjustments that he has to make?
Like we just saw with Erin Gilliland getting forward a little bit more, I think they're most dangerous when their outside backs are wrapped up high, and Colaprico and Vanessa have more space in the midfield to set play through. So hopefully getting them up into their attack more, getting the forwards up a little bit higher will provide more opportunities offensively.
Cara Walls and Jen Hoy up top for Chicago. You have Casey Short on the left side. In the outside back position, Erin Gilliland had a couple of nice runs in this half in the right back position.
When the Chicago Red Stars take on Toby Heath and the Portland Thorns, presented by Atletico. On this special night, we'll be honoring longtime Red Stars.
We're looking for Galton again. Leah Galton with the lone goal here for Sky Blue, the rookie. She's going to hit people's scouting reports awfully fast.
She will. She's established herself in a very short amount of time of actually getting minutes.
Only played 45 minutes coming into this match. This is only her second match of her career. Contact is made and a foul is committed by the rookie, Katie Naughton. And Tasha Kai a little bit slow to get up.
It's a decent challenge by Naughton.
It'll be Killian and Raquel Rodriguez lining up for this free kick. Four-person wall established for Chicago. Here's Rodriguez. She's going to give it a try. For the most part, it's been a pretty clean soccer match tonight.
It has. Clean and pretty even as well.
Score an example of that. Chicago getting a goal in the 34th minute by Sofia Huerta, her first of the 2016 season. And then a 70th minute goal from Leah Galton, the first of her professional career. Lytle to Kanhini.
Great defensive work by Sofia Huerta. She's been great in that outside spot defensively, but they've definitely missed her up top. They haven't been really able to hold anything up between Hoy and Walls so far in this half.
Well, Chicago has dropped back its strikers this year. Kristen Press to the midfield. Now we see Sofia Huerta drop back. Back to Huerta. The floater. And Stanley reaching up and grabbing it.
Another example of how dangerous they can be when you see Gilliland wrap herself up high and get in the wide flanks. You get numbers around the ball. They're just more dangerous at creating opportunities.
Hard tackle is made. The foul committed by Tasha Kai. This Red Stars broadcast brought to you today in part by the Illinois Youth Soccer Association. Connect with youth soccer throughout Illinois at illinoisyouthsoccer.org. Restart. Carl Walls looking for a call. It'll be a corner chance. Red Stars corner kick. Illinois Women's Soccer League donating another ticket to a local nonprofit organization. And as always, it'll be Colaprico and DiBernardo trotting over there. We saw a low-driven ball in the first half with one of the Red Stars' corner chances.
Those low-driven ones to the near post, though, are sometimes so dangerous because it just takes a little bit of a misdirection off the ball.
Colaprico again, this one a high floater to the back of the box. The header is made. Nicely done by Jen Hoy, and the Red Stars will get another crack at it. Another ticket donated to a local nonprofit organization thanks to Illinois Women's Soccer League. Jen Hoy, of course, coming off of the match against Seattle where she had a brace. Her first 2 goals of the season coming on May 22nd. She had a good look there. DiBernardo to the top of the 6. Gilliland.
I like that chance by Gilliland because Stanley was off of her line. She was on the ground, and Gilliland picked up her head and saw that, so just went for the half chance off the volley.
Here's Huerta. The turn from Walls. Still alive. Hoy tried to chase it down.
Much better job by Chicago to keep things alive, show a little bit more energy when the ball's in there attacking third.
You can feel the energy building here at Toyota Park. Now 3 corner kick chances for the Red Stars in the last couple of minutes of play. Driven to the middle of the 6. Up to Kai. He finds Lytle running on. And Sky Blue gives it away.
Well played by Chicago because that was definitely a counter opportunity for Sky Blue. They did a good job to get their numbers back, to keep their line small and tight, and win the ball back.
Here's the rookie Naughton. Out to Jen Hoy. And Stanley just clears it to the sideline.
Good idea by Jen Hoy, but Rampone is not an easy person to sprint past.
A lot of experience.
A lot of experience and a lot of speed.
Made a lot of decisions in her career. Here's Gilliland. Look out if she can pick up some speed. Gilliland with the fancy footwork. Gilliland to Casey Short.
Great job by Gilliland. Again, she takes on 1-2 defenders. Not the best ball into the box, but you see again, Chicago's 2 outside backs. One was serving, one was getting on the end of it. They're their most dangerous when they're pushing numbers forward and being aggressive in the attack.
Each of these clubs with 1 tie, 1 draw this year. Sky Blue, a draw with Houston, no score in that match. And the Chicago Red Stars, no score against FCKC. We're into the 84th minute. Tie match, 1-1. Here's Kai with the turn. Looking on the left side. The rookie, Galton. Galton, the dangerous spot.
Kai's been a great addition to this up front line. She's popped herself off. She's got the ball at her feet, and she just has this kind of relentless, fearless attitude about her that's been great so far for Sky Blue.
Yeah, how about the 2 subs that they've made in Galton and Kai in this second half? And that's the one thing that Christy Hawley told us. It was one of the reasons why he wanted them to come off the bench.
Exactly. They're playing into their game plan.
Well, he's got some green grass to work with. Nice recovery there from Aaron Simon. Huerta cuts back.
Service was a little bit off, but a great move, and it just shows how much confidence she's gotten from that goal, from this game, at having the ball at her feet and just getting at players and attacking them. She's so good at that.
That was the goal scoring move, I think, that Sofia Huerta made on Caroline Stanley in the first half.
Exactly.
One touch to the right, and she was gone. Here's Galton to Kai. Back to Galton, the nice touch to get around Naughton. Here's Galton going in line. Dalton got a piece of it.
It's one of those shot-stopping saves by Michelle Dalton. She just makes herself big, reflects it off of her left shoulder, I think.
Galton versus Dalton on that play.
Twister.
And Dalton got a piece of it. Still 1-1 between Sky Blue and Chicago. Lytle will serve it in. Final few minutes here of this second half. Sofia Huerta with the 34th minute goal. And Leah Galton for Sky Blue in the 70th minute. Galton again. Nice touch to the top of the 6. Trying to put it away. Sam Johnson was there.
Huge defending by Casey Short as well off that first one on Natasha Kai.
Tasha Kai is limping. She can't put pressure on her right foot right now. She's struggling. Up top, she's not even moving. She's got to stay on side for Sky Blue. Well, you see Tasha Kai at the top.
Moving a little bit better, but still definitely pretty sore on her right foot, I believe.
Cara Wells is going to get pulled, or called for the pull, is what I meant to say. One final sub being made. Danny Colaprico's coming out.
Substitution for the Chicago Red Stars in the 88th minute. Leading the match, number 24, Danielle Colaprico.
Honestly, a little bit surprised by this sub.
Courtney Reitzman is coming in. Reitzman doesn't get a whole lot of playing time. Of course, this is the time that a lot of players don't get a whole lot of playing time, get some playing time with the national team players called up. Reitzman coming in has only played 2 games in 28 minutes this year.
And you'll see Reitzman come out to this left side. You'll see Como slide into the defensive spot where Colaprico was, and then Vanessa DiBernardo pop into that attacking mid spot.
So they got some fresh legs there on the outside for Chicago.
And it also brings Vanessa a little bit closer to the goal, and it'll free her up in that space and not have to do so much defensive work.
The Red Stars broadcast brought to you today in part by Shaw Media, an official news partner of the Chicago Red Stars in 2015. For all the news happening in the suburbs of the Chicagoland area, you can head to mysuburbanlife.com.
She's replaced by number 7, Nikki Stinson.
And we see Tasha Kai coming out. There was no choice. She could barely walk. So Kai comes out, clearly hurt, and in comes Nikki Stanton. And that's unfortunate for Sky Blue because, as we had talked about, Tasha Kai had been such a presence up top.
She definitely gave them a little bit of momentum boost into the second half.
Here's Lytle, the one touch, trying to look for Rodriguez.
Great clearance ball by Huerta.
DiBernardo keeps it. Final few minutes of play in this match. We're tied at 1 between Sky Blue and Chicago. One last chance perhaps for the Red Stars, up and over.
You see them taking more opportunities, even half chances, as the couple last minutes here in the game.
We have stoppage time of about 2 minutes of play now between these two teams. Again, this is one of 2 matches taking place. Portland and Seattle right now, the last update I have, that is in a tie, 0-0 between those 2 clubs. Again, Portland just a point behind Chicago and Washington. DiBernardo will take a deep chance. Why not?
It's a decent chance by DiBernardo, but you see the work rate of Courtney Reitzman. She's a fun player to watch. We'll see if physicality will be an issue for her in the NWSL, but again, she likes to be on the ball. She's technical. She'll be fun to watch.
Under a minute to play in this match. Huerta. DiBernardo back to Huerta. We might get one final play here for the Chicago Red Stars.
It's a big time touch by Huerta to take it inside, get Sky Blue defender on her back and draw that fall late in the game.
This could be the final play of this match, this free kick opportunity. DiBernardo's going to take it. Here's the service from DiBernardo, a low driven ball. Time's running out for both of these clubs. Huerta's playing around with it. Down to Naughton. Floated ball into the box. That could do it. That does do it. It ends in a draw. A 1-1 draw between Chicago and Sky Blue.
As history tells us, ties are very common between these two teams.
Yeah, Sky Blue has never beaten Chicago in its series, so now the series extends to 3-0-6. 3 wins by Chicago and 6 ties now in this series between these two clubs. Each one picks up a point. Chicago now 14 points, came into tonight in a tie with the Washington Spirit for first place. Your final impressions, Jackie Manning?
Better second half for both teams, but it took a while for each team to get into the game. I think the subs off the bench provided a spark for both teams. But when your national team players are out, you have to have players that step up in these situations and want that responsibility to be able to prove what they're worth.
Well, you see the goal scorers there. Sofia Huerta in the 34th minute for Chicago, the first goal of the 2016 season. And Leah Galton, keep an eye on her. She had an assist in her first professional game, and now she has a goal in her second professional game. And it was a big one. It tied it up in the 70th minute. Well, we're sure happy that you tuned in to watch this one between Sky Blue and the Chicago Red Stars. Thanks to our crew who's put in all kinds of efforts behind the scenes. And for Jackie Manning, I'm Lisa Byington. Until the next time, June 12th on Sunday against the Portland Thorns, presented by Athletico. That will be the next home match for the Chicago Red Stars. We'll see you then.